Thanks for tuning in to the JLW podcast. If I said it before, I'll say it again. We need to pull together. Y'all, I want to thank each and every one of you that tune in, like, comment, and subscribe to this channel each time I get on here. Your love and your support, it does not go unknown. Let us jump into the Nolan Wells case. Part 3. Let's discuss Nolan Wells and his sudden departure from this side of the earth. Nolan went on a 4th of July trip on the seas, as I said, on the river, on the ocean, or whatnot. They was on top of water with his friends, with his white buddies. And everything went well during the day, I hope. But when his friends or his buddies came back to shore, Nolan Wells did not return with them. And that's what we're talking about today. What really happened out there on the ocean to cause Nolan Wells to be found floating on water unalive? Did his friends do it? Did he drown and they left him and someone else did it? Or did he drown and no one saw him? Like, a lot of speculating going on. But we haven't got to the truth yet. In my, perhaps, or my perceptions, I think they know something. I think either the guys that went with him know something, or the girl knows something, or the people that was left there know something about what really happened to Nolan Wells. He didn't just all of a sudden die and then be found, 2 days later, floating on top of the water. But before we jump right into what we're going to jump into, let's listen to this video of Mr. Jonathan Jackson, representative, talk about what he thinks that went on this 4th of July holiday on the ocean. Take a listen.
Well, it's taking a lot of different twists and turns. I wanted to get your thoughts on it. What do you think about it thus far?
Well, the phone has been erased and the parents have had to ping it. There's been no clear investigation. I think it reeks of a cover-up, and so we want to get to the bottom of it. So I thank Attorney Crump for being involved. I thank Cap and his family. I thank people that want to get to the justice. And now the truth is coming out slowly, but the truth is coming out. There is a pattern of deception and denial and cover-up.
You think there's a cover-up? So who are you pointing the finger at?
Well, I first start with the legal authorities. They should do a thorough investigation. That the phone was separated from the child. Body was returned to an alternate location. That the messages have been erased. That the family had to independently retrieve the phone. These are all things that the sheriff should have done. And so I would like to see the law enforcement do its job and give the parents, the family, justice and closure. I spoke with Jasmine Crockett about this a few days ago, and she feels like race is definitely playing a role in this investigation, or just in this case, I should say. What do you think? Well, if you talk about 5 or 7 young white guys and one African-American child, they're out swimming, he ends up dead, and seems to have been a bit of a scuffle or some altercation, I'm not quite sure. And then everyone leaves their one friend behind who just happens to be black. Well, this is also, as we speak today, the anniversary, the date of Emmett Till's birth. And so I come from Chicago, and that was a Mississippi case. So history is repeating itself again. History is repeating itself. So you're comparing the Nolan Wells case to the Emmett Till case. Well, I'm just saying that there's a similarity, that there's a chord, there's a melody that comes from injustice. That the people that killed Emmett Till, they knew who did it, and they never were prosecuted. The young people that were around Mr. Wells, they know something, and they've never been thoroughly interrogated.
Well, it is an ongoing investigation. I mean, we still have some way to go. How do you think this is all going to shake out?
Well, I want the truth to come forward. I want the young people to say what they know. I see they're lawyered up. They're behind their family members that have judges. They've had days and weeks to corroborate stories. And so we need an independent investigation.
Independent?
The phones have been erased. The pictures have been deleted. The family had to independently retrieve the voice messages themselves. The state has not lifted a finger then or now with Emmett Till or with Wells to get to the murder of a young black child.
Who does an independent investigation? You're saying the sheriff's department isn't enough. So then who handles it?
Well, like we've seen before, this is where the federal judiciary is supposed to come in. But there's been
feds.
Feds. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, it's a murder. This Mr. Wells had a right to be alive.
Really and truly, something is wrong. Something is going on. Something is not playing out like it should. Mr. Jackson, get his name right, Mr. Jackson, a representative, speaks on Nolan Wells' behalf. Because as we know, he's no longer with us physically. He says, and he speaks on a cover-up. The guys that went on this trip knows something, was called and told something that went on either before or after they returned to shore. He says the authorities should do an investigation because the phone was separated from Nolan Wells. How come his phone made it back, but he didn't? How come his phone was in your possession, but he wasn't? If you watch the tape where the young man says he's Nolan Wells' friends talk about how he talked to Nolan Wells all through the day, back and forth, over 100 some different people that was out there. He was going back and forth, talking to him, jump from boat to boat, here and there. That him and Nolan Wells were friends. And they was close. And they giggled and they laughed together. If you do all these things, and he's your friend, there's no way you will leave him out there talking to no girl, no boy, no guard, no nothing. And when you return and he's not with you, his mom and dad should have been the first place you went, or the first people you called and told that your son is no longer with me, or my friend is no longer with me. He stayed and talked to a girl. You need to check it out. No, you got back and didn't say a word. Period. Mr. Jackson says his phones made it back, but he didn't. There were some things in the phone deleted that should not have been deleted. What was on those files? That's going to come back up, because you cannot delete nothing from your phone permanently. You can delete it. It go delete files. You can delete it from there. And the government or whoever, they can open that phone back up, with technology being so sweet and so nice these days, that they can go back up and look exactly what was text, what was deleted. Representative Jackson said there need to be more done in this case. Point blank, period. He says it's just like an Emmett Till version all over again. That's what he was saying, talking to TMZ. And TMZ guy asked him, You saying that you're comparing Emmett Till with Knowles? He says yes. Emmett Till so-called whistled at a white lady and was killed and punished and demolished, and face wasn't even recognizable. And it was a lie at the end of the day. They was in the courtroom. They were put against a all-white jury. They went free. They died both a free man. In this case, he says those guys, those white guys, those Caucasian guys went on this trip with this one black boy. And this one black boy never returned home to his family. He said that's how it's similar to the Emmett Till case. Y'all, I'll be honest with you. I love white people, I love black people, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Indian, whoever. But will I go out on the water with them? No. If it's not my mama, daddy, sister, brother, or my clique that I be with, and I can name them on one hand, we're not going out there. We're not even finna fly. Now, I'll be honest with you. I might one day fly by myself, but I'm not going to go on a boat by myself. You know, just saying. Because if something happened to me while by myself, then that's just me. You know, I'm out there by myself. But I'm not finna go with a bunch of white folks. I love white people. I'm not going with them, though. I love black people. I'm not going with them, though. If you're not in my circle, in my everyday life, I'm not finna go on the water with you. Because there's no possibility that I will return. And Representative Jackson said there need to be more done. He also says they lawyered up as soon as they returned. Facebook got deleted. They probably got talked down to and was told to say this and say that until they remember it. And now they're going by those factors, not by the truth. There's some truth going to be told. Sooner or later, it's going to come to a head. Everything does. He says the feds needs to get involved. It's time for the feds to stand up, get involved, do investigation, hit them boys hardly on what really happened out there on the water. And it's more than what they're telling. It's more than what they're telling. I'm sorry. I hate it for them, but they need to open their mouths and tell the truth to their parents, and the parents need to go to the authorities, or they need to have the authorities at their house, and they need to go over face to face what really happened from beginning to the end, and why Nolan Wells is no longer with us physically. Nolan Wells went on a vacation with a bunch of white boys. They returned, but Nolan Wells didn't. The mom and the auntie had to search for the phone. The phone was never put in their hands on their own time. They had to search for the phone. And when they found the phone, they knew things in the phone was deleted and removed from the phone. He says that some of the guys, moms are lawyers and judges, so it will not go as we think it should. So we need more people investigating on Nolan Wells' case. I believe if there was white, the case would have been already solved. Somebody would have been locked up, sent to prison for life. 2 or 3 life terms. But since there's a black person, I'm thinking race has something to do with it. It's not playing out like it should. Let's also take a look at Judge Mathis as he speaks on the Nolan Wells case. Because truly, I think that there's more to talk about, more to say. We're just not saying it, and it needs to come out. Take a look at this video.
Was actually bruises behind his neck. Yes. Yeah, I mean, what else? Why is it only there in the back of your neck, which is coincidentally how you drown somebody? You put the head in the back of the neck and not let them up, and they try and push up, but you got the head down, so the head bruises in the back of the neck because somebody tried to hold it down or did hold it down. I'm only presenting the facts. And I only made the analogy to Emmett Till because it's the same optics. However, do I know whether it's the same? Do I know any of the factors that I'm suggesting is accurate? No. But I am making observations about the facts as I see them. And then I am, yes, speculating. And quite frankly, in the law, you're not supposed to speculate. You're supposed to have hard facts. But in this case, since nobody's given us any hard facts, we can't get into the information that we need, then yes, we're left to only speculate.
Listen, really and truly, there's some things that was not told when these guys returned home. It's sad, it's disrespectful to the family, and if they really was friends with Nolan Wells, some things should have been told, should have been said, should have been brought out. But there wasn't, and that's a problem. Judge Mathis says that there were bruises on the back of his neck. Now, I seen any video where they said this. And for say, but he knows something that we don't know. Or there's something out there that I haven't seen yet. But he said there were bruises on the back of his neck like somebody was forcing his head down in the water. Either trying to drown him or trying to hurt him physically. If that's so, then that becomes murder. Point blank, period. It leads from drowning to self-drowning to someone's trying to kill him, and that jumps into the perception that this is no longer a case of just Nolan by itself. This is a case of someone killing Nolan Wells. Point blank, period. Judge Mathis says that we're still waiting on the autopsy to come out to say what needs to be said. Point blank, period. Their lawyer, Mr. Crump, he came out with another report. And he said something in the familiar state of when they sent his body off, they sent his body off without his head. It's weird. You take the head off the body, but you don't send nothing but the body to know what really happened, to know what, like, are we trying to still hide stuff? Like, are y'all gonna keep, like, what is really going on? Why is this so... Like, we know it's in Mississippi. We know Mississippi is a racist place. No, Texas. I know this in Texas. Texas. But why? Why are we doing all this? Just let what need to be said, say it. If the guy did something to him, they need to be punished. White, black, yellow, or green. Something needs to happen. It's sad, it's pathetic. And we're tired of going back and forth. Like, let it be known. Right now, we're just speculating. But hey, at the end of the day, that's going to come into something else. Because these guys are not talking and they're still alive and they're laughing and they get along with their friends and they're talking to their mother and father, but Nolan can't talk to his mother and father because he's no longer with us. And that's a problem. Point blank, period. Listen to this last video of Nolan Wells friend, supposedly, talks about him on the trip. They was together, they wasn't together, but we're gonna see what comes out on this. Just take a look.
Yelled for Nolan, get on the boat. We're leaving. The boat's having issues, and like, no, he didn't say that, but he was panicking. Nolan, get the F on the boat. Get on the boat. And Nolan said, no, I'm staying out here. I'm going to ride in with somebody else. And it's not uncommon to hear, but it's not like my buddy asked him one time. My buddy asked Nolan multiple times to get on the boat. Nolan, get on the boat. Get on the boat. We're leaving. If you're coming, you got to come now. And the boat just started filling up with water. So I popped the starboard side hatch, and the battery was completely underwater. And so the motor wouldn't trim down. I mean,
listen, he says there's so much that the boat was going underwater. He talks about, and this is a whole hour or two video long, so you got to go check it out yourself. And he talks about seeing those, talking to those, saying the boat going, I'm making a 911 call. All these things are on file. Go check them out. But he never tells the real truth, because I believe it's in there. He just not letting it out because he's already been talked to and told what to say and what not to say, or what to answer, what not to answer, and what to talk over when someone asks him the question. But I'll be honest with you, this black guy really not answering. He's not pounding him like he should, because he probably been paid off as well. Like, this is a whole big crazy ordeal, and I just believe, you know, sooner or later somebody's going to turn up something, and it's not going to go good for the other side. But he talks about how the boat was drowning, going underwater or whatnot. In the 30, he had to make the calls to try to get the boat or whatnot. It was kind of rough going back home. Blase, all that. Okay, it's fine. You're giving us information. We need to look into that in a different way. I don't watch this video 12, 13 times. But what I come to fail to realize is he's not telling everything. He's telling what he needs to tell to make himself look good on file, on film, or whatnot, and what forth. But we need him to come out with the truth. Why? Because it will set him free. I promise you. Y'all listen. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. I got more coming. Every time I receive something or hear something or watch TikTok, watch YouTube, I'm going to try to repost everything on my videos. I'm gonna try my best to do better on my videos coming out forth. Why? Because I want you to jump in this case truly. Mr. Ben Crump has and Mr. Al Sharpton has opened the door for this young man and his family. Tyler Perry and all of the supporters of this young man's life that was taken has brought this to the attention to all black people. You need to listen. Listen. Take ye of where you're going and who you're going with, because you might not come back alive. Point blank, period. Watch who your kids are going out with. They're going out with black people. Make sure you know where they're going. Make sure you can call them, talk to them. Make sure you got a communication with your child, your significant other, because there's a lot of fishy things going on, and we don't want this to happen to no one else's child, no one else's mother, no one else's father, no one else, period. Especially black people. I love white people. I love every other kind. I don't see the color, I see the heart. But at the end of the day, I'm standing up for my race just like they will stand up for theirs. We need to know what really happened to the little Wells boy. We really need to know, because this man had a future ahead of him. He did not even make it to the age of 20, and that's sad. And these young boys know something about it. They need to come out and they need to say something. I'm going to read this quote before we leave you, but I want you to make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you know. Keep me informed just as well as I try my best to keep you informed. It says here, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he wrote this, and it's so outstanding, and it goes with this case. I'm concerned about a better world. I'm concerned about justice. I'm concerned brotherhood. I'm concerned about the truth, and when one is concerned about that, he can never abdicate violence. For though violence, you may murder a murderer, but you can't murder a murder. Through violence, you may murder a liar, but you can't establish the truth. Through violence, you may murder a hater, but you can't murder hate. Through violence, point blank, period. Darkness cannot put out darkness. Only light can do that. He's letting us know in so many ways that we need to come together. We need to stand together. We need to pull together. We need to unite black people. We need to come to a head to say there's be no more, period. With us black people dying because white folks don't want us here anymore. Trump is already done put it out there that the white folks can stand and talk and say it, put out there what they want to say. That's a lie. And you shouldn't stand for it. Point blank, period. Nolan Wells did not deserve to die. Emmett Till at the time did not deserve to die. All these other people, Floyd, all the other folks did not deserve to die, but they did. And in this case, we want to know the truth. Again, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And we're going on the 4th video. We're going to cover this thing until there's nothing left to cover. Ben Crump, Al Sharpner, and everyone else is standing behind the Wells family. You should too. Please, ma'am, please, sir, please let me know what you think about this video and about the Wells case. Until next time, may God continue to bless you. May he continue to keep you. It's my prayer. This is the JLW podcast, and we're signing out saying, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Be blessed, and may God bless you. Until next time, deuces.